everybody. This is Doc for the Falcon Fly By here today, and this is the October 2nd, 2016 episode. Glad you guys could join us here on live broadcast of the Falcon Flyby. So we have a few things we do here normal. First is we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, and our first sponsor is Multi Mold Guns up in Troy, Michigan. They provide us all of our mold guns for all of the holsters that we make. And not only do they provide us with our mold guns, but they also do a lot of other things. They have some specialty kydex that they produce. They also produce holsters. They produce the kydex wallet 2.0 that I showed you guys a few months ago. And they've been with us since the very beginning. So a big shout out to them. Make sure you go to their website, check them out on Instagram, and follow them. And you'll see a lot of cool things happening. Our second sponsor is Gray Wolf Tactical Combat out of Florida. And they have just gotten their web presence up. They've been on Facebook for a while, but now they have a web address to get to their online site now and to their store. You can order right from there. Really good prices. They're working on getting all their inventory up online, so definitely check them out. Check out their page on Facebook. We'll go ahead and we'll put a link in the description for the video here on YouTube, so that way you guys can check them out as well. And our last sponsor is Defiant Industriez. They are our newest sponsor, and they do apparel. And hopefully here I will have some of their sticker decals and a couple of their shirts and whatnot. But again, we'll post their link on their page as well. Go out there, give them a shout out, and let them know Doc sent you. They're based out of California, so they're out there on the West Coast. And so good to go there. Also, I want to send a big thank you to Black Flag Holsters. They sent me a couple cool shirts, a black one and a gray one. And they sent me two of their stickers, really nice shirts actually. And this is the front of the shirt, and then they have American flag on the right-hand sleeve, and then on the back, of course, you have their big logo. So I want to send a big shout out to Chris. Thanks for getting me this stuff, man. I appreciate it. They are awesome. And yes, I am wearing the gray one today, because you guys were always asking me, why does Doc not wear a shirt in any of his broadcasts? So I have a shirt on, since you guys always want to know why I don't. Normally because it's like 110 degrees here in Georgia. So I do have my shirt on. So again, definitely check out these guys' page. Black Flag Holsters. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and you can also email them, and Chris will be able to get you taken care of. I've known Chris now, I think, for about a year, and we've talked back and forth. We've never actually physically met, but we've talked a lot on Facebook and things like that, so definitely check it out if you get a chance. So that's where we are, and we all know that right after we get that, we always talk about the events that are going on. Well, we know this weekend, American Milsim had Oct 34 going on this weekend, and it was up in Illinois, I believe. And from everything I read, everybody had a great time. So awesome that event really went well for them. And it looked like it rained up there, but hey, if it ain't raining, it ain't training. So looks like everybody had a great time. So basically, let's look at the events we have coming up here now. We're in the month of October, and we know more airsoft events are going on, and it's a great time to get out there and play, because the weather's getting cooler no matter where you are really in the country. Some areas, like if you're out in the Pacific Northwest, it might be colder than it is down here in the Southeast, but I've noticed out here that the humidity has started to go away, which is really nice. And that helps us players, because I tell you, we put on all that gear, and we really sweat a lot, and you can have heat casualties and things like that. But I will tell you this, guys, as well. You can have cold injuries. Believe it or not, you can get dehydrated even when you're like, oh, I'm not sweating. No, you can get dehydrated in the wintertime, and it's actually more prevalent in the wintertime than it is in the summertime. And the reason for that is, you don't see your sweat in the wintertime per se. Usually it's because we can't feel it. We think our bodies are just warm because we're moving around, but you take that gear off and you see the wet spots where our plate carriers or whatnot are pressing against us. Where in the summertime, we see it, we're sweating constantly. But in the wintertime, you really don't have that. So definitely be looking out as temperatures get colder, and depending on where you're playing, make sure you stay hydrated. As always, that is the biggest thing here with airsoft. So let's look at events we have going on here. So right away, right off the bat, starting next week, we have an airsoft game and swap meet that is being put on by Doomsday Airsoft down in Estero. I'm probably not saying this right. Estero, Florida. Whatever. My wife is correcting me. But it's down in Florida. It starts at 8 a.m. and it's being put on by Doomsday Airsoft. So if you get a chance, hit that up. Swap meets are always a great thing, and I encourage, if you're having rent games or even if you're having a Milsim event, having a swap meet intermingled in that, because believe it or not, the great thing about airsoft is you may be looking for something that somebody else has, and you might have something that person needs as well. So it's easy to make trades and things like that, especially with the way Facebook is cracking down on our buy-sell trade pages and things of that nature as well. So having those really cool swap meets and things go on during games is always a benefit. October 14th through the 16th, we have City Under Siege behind enemy lines 4. That is down in Hellhounds Airsoft. This is out in Tennessee. And Falcon Battle Systems is one of the sponsors. We're actually sending out 4 of our player packets out there. And then that same weekend, up further north in the Northeast, we have Night Ops 3. It's an airsoft game at Robin Hood Paintball. East Coast Airsoft puts this on. Their very first one, they had over 80 players sign up. It's a night game. I believe it goes like from 5 p.m. to like midnight. So it's all night long. Very cool game. And they've been doing them continuously. Every couple months they have another one, and they're awesome to go to from everything I've read about them. So definitely check that out if you guys are in that area. And as we go down through airsoft, it's sad to say that we had our Index Milsim Operation Odin's Eye, which was going to be out in Gordon, Texas in November, got canceled. That is sad, but it looked like it was competing with Operation Faded Giant, which is November 5th through the 6th. I am hoping to be able to get out there for that event. It's going to be at the Government Training Institute in South Carolina, so in Barnesville, South Carolina. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be out there having some good times with some friends and just enjoying airsoft. Then we have November 11th through the 13th. We have Operation Starburst 8. And this looks like it is in Mathis, Texas. And again, November 11th through the 13th. So if you're in Texas and you're looking for an event, I know the op in Gordon, Texas got canceled, but this is a weekend after Faded Giant 5. So if you can head out to this event, again, good on that. Then we have Gladico 3, which is at Bellhack Airsoft. November 19th, and I am potentially looking at going to that event. They're up in Chesapeake. I have not had a chance to play at this field. This would be the very first time I've ever played at Bellhack Airsoft, and I know I've been talking to some other guys about getting together, getting a group, and heading up there to play. Maybe drive out Friday after work, and then play and then come back. But the game is Saturday, November 19th. At 7 a.m. And if you guys see me looking at I'm looking at my other monitor where I have all my events up. So I don't have a teleprompter yet. That's one thing I'm working on. Check out my Patreon account. I want a teleprompter right above my other monitor here. So that way right above my camera. So that way I can talk right to you guys while I'm looking at everything. And then we break for the holidays because we got Thanksgiving coming up. So you won't see many events there. We have Operation Overwatch 2, December 2nd through the December 4th. I am supposed to be there as a vendor. I gotta look at how things play out. If not, I will be there as a sponsor for that event, and I will send 5 to 7 player packs like I did last year, or for Overwatch 2. And that's further down. That's in Amokalee, and I know I screwed that up too, Florida. That's all the way down by Miami. So it's a little bit further drive. It's an 8-hour drive from where I'm at here all the way down. So it's still, that one's kind of up in the air for me right now, just because of distance. But then on December 10th through the 11th, again out at Bellahawk Airsoft, they have Rev 7, which is another airsoft event going on. And again, if I can get out to the first one and it blows my mind, I'll probably be out there the second one. And it'll give me a good opportunity to test and use my 40 millimeter 203 smoke grenade pouches, as well as I'm starting to put those onto my gear as well. And then we come down, and then on December 11th, again, we got competing events, but they're in different states. Operation Christmas Rush, which is December 11th, starting at 8 a.m. Excuse me, and that's put on at Gunnings Warfare Center, which I believe is in North Carolina. Yeah, it's in Waxhaw, North Carolina. So if you're in that area, feel free to check that out. If you can't make it to Bellahawk up in Virginia, then at least check out this event. And then as we come into January, here we are already. We got Fragile Sovereignty 2 put on by Tog Milsim. January 13th through the 15th, it's going to be at Adventure Beach Airsoft. We're waiting for them to update more information on that, and I can tell you guys right now that I'm looking at being out there as a vendor. I've already been asked, so I'm going to be out there as a vendor and as a player. So I'm looking forward to play out there for that event. And then we have Operation Icebreaker, which is January 28th through the 29th at Georgia Airsoft. And $40 entry fee gets you in for the whole weekend. Going to be a great time. We got 50 spots open on each side. I can't tell you, we've had 4 players so far register. They registered, believe it or not, like last month. So it was really cool getting people already registered for this event. We just put into effect, and I'll tell you right now, I don't have it on my calendar because it's so far out. But for those of you that follow the Operation Black Dagger page, the community page, you have probably seen that we created the event. There's not a whole lot of information yet. We don't have the storyline in there yet, but we do have the information like where it's going to be, when it's going to be, the cost. And also on the community pages, if you guys have been following, we also have posted the new event rules. These are completely new for next year. These are the event rules we're going to follow. They're pretty much the Third Coast Airsoft rules, but we've made a few tweaks to them. We've added in a few things ourselves. We've revamped the medic rules to make it simpler, because we do understand that last time it was very, very confusing. So we turned around, we made it simpler for everybody. And then we also posted the uniforms that are going to be allowed for Black Dagger 2. Do not ask us, we're going to tell you this right now, do not ask us, oh, can I wear this? No. If it's not on that list, then you can't. Don't ask us. We're not changing. We're not adding anything. We're not taking anything away. We're just going to leave it just like it is for that. We want this to be as clear and dry as possible. The one thing we did allow you guys to do is the uniform top and bottoms don't have to match. So if you wanted, you want to wear a, like say for desert, you wanted to wear a DCU top with Marpat bottoms or vice versa, you can do that. So that's what we turn around and did. We made it a little bit easier for you because you might have one part of one and one part of the other. And so that's what we're doing right there. And you guys have seen the event. The event has been posted. So we will make sure this threads through. This is a doc production event, just like, I'm drawing a blank now. Just like Icebreaker is, but since Icebreaker doesn't have its own community page, Black Dagger 2 does because it's a little bigger, more involved. So that's what we have going on. If you guys have any questions about the rule set, please feel free to ask. And as we get closer to the event, for all our events, like here shortly, we are going to start having live question and answer sessions set up for any rule questions you might have, uniform questions you might have pertaining to Icebreaker. So that way we can start answering that. We can start putting those up. Probably our first one will be at the end of this month. So, Halloween weekend or the weekend before that, we'll go ahead and we'll we'll have our first Q&A video. So that way you guys can ask any questions that you might have, and it'll be a full live video. So that way you're able to see what's going on. Oh, you're saying you're unable to hear me. So I think I knew what that problem is. Let me check because I switched some audio video stuff around. So let me know now if you can hear me better because I moved my mics and stuff around and did some stuff a little differently. So um, now we should be a little better. Oh yeah, it's a lot better now. You are absolutely right. I apologize for that for you guys that didn't hear me. So now it sounds a lot better. Oh, okay. Here we go. So now everybody should be able to hear me better now. I do apologize for that. So again, like I was saying, for Black Dagger 2, we'll get this event probably pushed out to everybody probably in January, just like we did last year. It made it a lot easier having everybody on there so they're able to hear what was going on. And they can ask questions to us. We'll start advertising. We'll start getting the event out there. Registration will probably open up in February, and we'll let the veterans. It'll only be open to veterans first. They'll have a whole month, and during that month, or I'm sorry, they'll have a whole 2 months. So they'll have February, March, and at the end of March, we'll open it up to everybody else. Veterans to this event, I'm just going to let you guys know, a perk to being a vet is you will actually get a discount on your registration fee. So if you're a veteran, you're going to save some money, and we'll let you know right then and there. So we want to make sure we get all the veterans of the series taken care of first, and then we'll open it up to all the new players. But we only are going to have Icebreaker is set for 50 on side, 50 per side, and we're going to look at that. Hopefully we can fill that event out. And if that event fills out well, then what we'll do is we'll turn around, we'll look at how the field played with 100 players on the field. But then we'll turn around, and if we're like, hey, we can probably do 60 or 70 players per side, then that'll be the basis on how we open up our spots for Black Dagger 2, because we did have 100 side. So okay, that's better. So that's what we have for events. So I'm gonna go right into a little bit of product discussion. So this was a request per a particular individual, and it was something we were thinking about as well. We turned around and we designed a double Enola Gay WP-40, your 203 shell, your 40 millimeter grenade shells pouch. And these are quite nice. What we did on this one is we actually dropped the smoke grenade down a little further, so it'll allow it to set deeper into the pouch. What's really nice is, as you guys can see, and gals, this ain't going anywhere. It's not falling out there, and I'm shaking it quite well, so they're not going anywhere. So it turned out really nice. We do have those now, and we will be sending a few of them out to be tested. We do have them posted on the Facebook page. So I do want to let you guys know about that if you're looking for these, go ahead, check them out. We're going to have, like I said, we have 3 of these. Actually, how these came about was we designed, you guys have all seen our double banger pouches. They're a little bigger. They fit the Enola Gay EG-18s. They fit our Thunder Bees. They fit the VTG SWAT grenades. Well, what happened was I had a customer over in England who ordered 3 OD green banger pouches, right? So I made them, sent them out to him. And when I sent them out to him, he got them and he's like, hey, wait a minute. They're too loose. He sent me pictures and I was like, oh, because he's like, oh, I have VTGs. Well, VTGs to me and their BFS or their BFGSs are 2 completely different grenades. I mean, by size, one is literally the size of a WP-40 smoke grenade, and the other one is the size, if not bigger, of a Thunder Bee. So what I did was he got the measurements for me again, sent it to me, and this was already before I made our famous single banger pouches that are being sent out like crazy and made like crazy. So
what was great about it was I rolled the first one, and I sent him a picture, and he's like, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's what I want. So what I turned around and did is he got 3 of these already. He's got 3 going out. So these are going over to the UK. There has not been, quote unquote, one of these sold yet here in the US. The 3 that I have made, this is one of them. This is going over across the pond. So honestly, the first 3 have been sent over across the pond, and it was an RMA issue. So we fixed it. It's like our warranty said. He told us what the problem was. We fixed it. So he is going to get these first, and he's going to let us know how they work. Now, the great thing about it is we've also, the malice clips are closer so they don't take up so much real estate. But again, it's a smaller pouch. So it makes sense to have the malice clips closer. So that's how those came about, actually, was for the BFGS grenades. They're 40 millimeter in size. And I was just like, yeah, we can do it. He sent me the dimensions. And the second I made the single ones, I knew the double ones could be made the same way. So I turned around, and that's what we have. And they're going across the pond. I'm getting ready. I'm going to wash them down real good before I package them up. And then we're going to get them packaged, and we're going to get them send them out there. And I think he's really going to enjoy them. And I hope he lets me know how they work for him, so that way we can get them to you guys as well. And there are several different pouches out there that you can get. There's the nylon. There's nylon. There's, just a general pouch that you might have bought. And what I'm going to tell you guys is these pouches, the double and the single ones, they're built for these and 203 grenades. That's what they're built for. Now, someone might ask, well, what if oh, that's what that is. I thought something was loose. How are you going? And as you guys can see, I'm not putting any back pressure on this at all, and it's not moving. But to ensure that these are not going to fall out at all, I mean, you're not going to lose these, especially once the malice clip is hooked to the back. What we're going to do is, these are our version 1s. Okay, these are the ones that are being ordered and sent out right now. The version 2s, which we're hoping to have a good base of these by the end of the month, will actually have shock cord hooked to the bottom, and it'll be able to come up and sit on top of this, so it'll provide more down pressure. So that way this is not going anywhere, and you can do the same thing with a 203 shell. The shell will sit down in, the shock cord will go on top, and it'll keep it from falling out. So if you're low crawling on the ground or you're running, you don't have to worry about your shells falling out. The other great thing is this is the same length of most 203 shells. So that's a bonus, because it sits all the way down in there. There's really no way for it to pop out. So again, these pouches are specifically meant for use for these WP-40s, and for, I believe these will work for the thermal barracks that are out there as well. So again, I'm going to build probably 10 more of these. I have one that's going to a tester here in the US who's going to test and use and let me know how they work. And then I'm probably going to put a couple on my gear as well, because hell, why not? If I can carry them singly or double and single, I can put these single ones closer onto my gear, so I can grab them right away. But I can set the double ones, put them on my back, where somebody behind me can grab it and pop it and throw it if we need to. So that's what we have. When I posted the pictures to the UK airsoft site, I already had people asking, hey, I want details on them. Where can I get these? So I posted up the information for those guys. But I think this is going to be a great product for here, for us players here in the US. And again, those guys running with 203 grenades, these right here, I think they're perfect. I think they work great. You guys have seen the pictures. You saw the videos a couple weeks ago when I was actually putting the 203 shell in the single ones and pulling them out. This does the same thing. And again, they sit all the way down in there, so it just makes it easy. And I figured all I got to do is just grab it, push it up, and I can pull it right out, and boom, I'm ready to go. So, it's not like you're a speed loader if you're dealing with 203 shells. But they turned out really well. They are on our page, and if you know of any, like your local Kydex shop, or not your local Kydex shop, your local airsoft shop, Maybe there's a Army surplus store that sells airsoft stuff as well. Please, if you guys send them my way or get me their email address, and I'll do all the work from that end. Or maybe what I can do is, since you're the boots on the ground, I'll turn around, make you one, and send it out there so you guys can show them the actual product, and whatnot. But like I said, I think these are, I like them. I think they're a really good product. I think they're going to do well for us, and I don't think you guys will have issues with these. And right now we have them in 4 standard colors: OD green, coyote brown, black, and multicam. But I think what's going to happen is I am going to do a full, let's see, because these are 12 inches long, the piece. So I can do, let's see, on a 1 foot by 2 foot sheet, I can cut at least, I don't know, probably 6 by that particular sheet, because it's 1 foot high and 2 feet across. But I'm sure I can punch out a bunch of them, and I'm going to punch them out, and I'm going to do a full set of multicam black, multicam tropic, and multicam arid. And so that way we have a full set of those, because I know somebody is going to ask for those patterns. So why not? I mean, it's different and it works well. It's a very effective, very simple, and we're also applying for our patents on these. So that's another good thing. So we have that out there as well. Let's see here. We have people. See if anybody else has put anything on the chat. So that is for our product review that we have for this week. And we have other products that are coming out. We're looking at doing a few other things for redesigns. I'll tell you that if the shot cord thing works good for our new pouches, the Enforcer holsters that we sell will come with a shot cord retention strap per se. So you'll have that, like, maybe on the bottom eyelet, on the back side of the holster, and it'll come up and actually sit around or sit on your pistol grip. So that way, again, now you'll have 2 levels of retention, not only the holster, but you'll also have that piece of shot cord that'll hold it down so it doesn't pop out on you guys. So yeah, that's about the skinny of the Falcon Flyby for this week. Unless you guys have anything that you'd like to talk about, please let me know. Any questions that you might have, please feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer them for you. So that way you guys, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We will be, again, you guys know our show is every week. And we try to discuss what you guys want to talk about. Next week will actually be a good show, because we will be doing the October battle box reveal, which is really cool. I always look forward to my battle box. If you look at my video, you'll see 2 of them behind me over there. There we go. There. So yes, I enjoy my battle boxes. I like them very much. And if you can afford to do it, whether it's the basic, the advanced, the pro, or the pro plus, I highly recommend you do it. They are, there's some very cool gear in it. And the last one I got was all about staying hydrated and being able to find water and purify your water when you're out, camping or backpacking. Because we all know when we backpack, we're not carrying a huge amount of water with us. So finding a water source and purifying is always a bonus. When I order the slimline banger pouch, do I have to have the bungee on it? If you don't want the bungee on it, just tell me. And when we have quite a few version 1s right now in stock, but when we start with the version 2s, making them, if you don't want bungees on them, just let us know, and we'll actually give an option for no retention strap or retention strap. And the default will be yes, the retention strap on there. But if not, then you just turn around, just tell us no. So when we produce your work on your order and produce your items, then we won't include those bungees. So if you don't want them, just let us know. We won't put them on there. But for the bulk of them, because again, this will be what we call an MPPI, massive produced product item. The majority of them will have that because we try to produce every night. We try to produce anywhere from 10 to 20 of these a night. So that way we keep a good stock. Right now we have quite a good stock of them. We're getting ready to send a bunch out. We sent out some demo kits as well. So if you are a retailer watching this or somebody that works with a local retailer, please feel free to let us know. We do a sample pack where it's 5 of them for $50, or we will, if you get a hold of us, we can send a demo product out to you. So that way you can take a look of it and test it yourself. We just, like I said, we sent out a bunch of them this Friday to a couple different companies to take a look at. We even have an Enola Gay looking at these as well. So that could be huge for us to let them take a look at our products and actually use them. So we'll probably be sending 1 or 2 of the double bangers or the new slimline doubles to them, so that way they can take a look at it. So no, again, Jason, like you asked, if you don't want the bungees on them, just let us know and we won't put them on for you. So. There. Is there any chance you will be making some for the new frag grenades? I plan on actually making a few for the new frag grenades. The only thing is I need to actually get my hands on a couple of the new frag grenades, because we will be making a pouch that is custom to them, and how they sit down inside, like these. Like you can see, they have the bottom carriage and we offset them from center. So we'll have to get our hands on one, figure out what the dimension is. Once we know the dimensions, then we can turn on, get a piece of PVC pipe, make them, because we're actually going to do it with those. We'll have the bungees on them, just because they're round and we don't want them to drop in deep to a pouch. So we'll have bungees that'll go on those that will wrap all the way around them to keep them down so they don't pop out on you guys. And once we know what the dimensions are, we can go out and start making prototypes. So yeah, we will be making pouches for those as well. So pretty much anything that you guys can think of, we can make a pouch for. It's not, we're not limited by dimension or size, or if it's just a ball or what it looks like. Once we know what the circumference is of a particular item, we can turn around and add that stuff in there. That's not a big deal. So yes, it is very, very sweet. Very sweet. So I need to ask, are you guys enjoying the live podcast that we're doing on Wednesday? I mean, I know a lot of you guys, we were using SoundCloud, which we can still use SoundCloud. It's not a problem. But what we were doing is we were using this live stream Mix LR, so that way you guys could actually join into the chat and stuff like that. So, all right, cool. Yeah, there's an app for Mix LR that you guys can download for the live podcast that we do. And we try to pick a different topic every Wednesday. And if you guys have noticed, over the last 2 weeks, we've been making the Falcon Fly By more about airsoft and milsim and what's going on, talking about product review and gear that we have coming out, or new gear that we're getting in. And where we leave the flyby, which is our podcast, we do that every Wednesday night, starting at 10 till 11. We talk more about the issues. That's a little bit more raw than our Falcon Flyby is. We want to kind of break the two up, so that way, if you're a young airsoft player and your parents are watching this is more for you versus listening to the podcast that we do on Wednesday night, which is a little bit more raw, I guess. So, and we're gonna be talking about some other issues that are coming up. I just saw that there's WikiLeaks is talking about dropping a new thing on Hillary, saying that it'll be endgame for her campaign, and I guess Fox News or somebody illegally obtained Donald Trump's tax information. So we'll be discussing that. I think it's interesting to talk about, but I'd really like hearing you guys' feedback. Are you still coming down for Overwatch 2? I am going to try. The only way for me to physically make it down for Overwatch 2 is literally leaving Thursday, driving 4 hours after I get off work Thursday night, staying in a hotel, and then driving the other 4 hours Friday to get down to where we're going or where that event is at. And then the same thing coming back. So dealing with vacation time, because I do have another job other than just making Kydex. I think a lot of my customers think all I do is make Kydex all day long, which I wish. I'm trying to get this business to that point where all I do is make holsters and banger pouches and mag pouches and stuff like that all day long. But it really depends on, what's going on. If I'm not there physically, I will be there as a sponsor for the event. They'll have 5 of my player packages for them. And I'll probably even send down a couple 4-packs of the slim banger pouches and stuff like that for them as well. So that way players can win those as well. I think that'll be something a little different than just holsters. Get something else to come down there. So I will try to get to Overwatch 2. That is it's an 8-hour drive from where I'm at here in Georgia. So, and with everything coming along the holidays, I got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be up in Michigan for the holidays, seeing family. Then a couple months later, we'll be down in Orlando, Florida at the resorts and amusement parks. So we're going to be busy. So I will see what I can do for you guys. So do. So that is pretty much what we have for this week on the Falcon Flyby. I want to thank everybody for tuning. If you do come down, me and Mumbles are thinking of stopping in to hang. If I do make it down there, that'd be awesome if you guys came down and hung out with me in my vendor's booth. Like I said, it all depends on what's going on. All depends on how busy I am over the holidays. That is one of our busiest times for Kydex production and things of that nature. So if I can get the time and I can get down there, I will be down there. So a lot of events coming up the end of the year that I want to get out to. Fields I've never played on, places I've never been. So again, a lot of stuff going on the end of the year. And then we start next year. We've got 2 major events. Like I said, you got TOG Milsim, Fragile Sovereignty 2, and you have then you have Icebreaker like a week after, like 2 weeks after that. So 2 big events right as we start the beginning of the year. And, next year, something tells me that next year is going to be just as busy, if not busier. There it goes. So there's just a lot of events going on that I want to get out to. And January, like I said, January is already packed, 13th and 15th, and then 28th through the 29th. So we're going to be busy. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on the next couple months. So you never know where you might see me at. The Admiral in the house might give me the okay, week before, or all of a sudden I head down there and surprise a bunch of people. So, but hey, like I was saying, I want to thank everybody for showing up and watching us live, listening to me talk. Remember, we do have a Patreon account where you guys can help us get the things like I was saying. Like I want to get a better camera. We want to get a green screen for behind us. We want to get better editing software, so that way better video and audio software, so we can bring you better broadcasts. Definitely check that out if you want to. So you can check Falcon Battle Systems out on Facebook. We're on Instagram as well. So if we try to get these live videos. Once we have them, we'll post the links out. We'll put in all the information into the description so people can know about our vendors and our sponsors and things of that nature. And so again, I want to thank everybody for showing up and being part of the October 2nd episode of the Falcon Flyby. I'm your host, Doc, for Falcon Battle Systems and the Falcon Flyby, saying have a great week, stay safe, and for all my friends down south in Florida and whatnot, please be careful, batten down the hatches, and let's hope Matthew doesn't smack us all right in the jimmy. Again, this is Doc for Falcon Battle Systems and the Falcon Flyby, saying have a good night, and I will be talking to you all Wednesday starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Flyby, our live podcast. We will be taking questions from you, so please feel free to ask questions. And you can log in. You can hit us right up on the app and listen to us. You can follow our live. We'll post our link, and the invite is on the Falcon Flyby web or Facebook page. So hit us up. I look forward to seeing you guys all on Wednesday during our podcast. And have a great week. Take care. Doc signing off.